All right. Hello, everybody. KV Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with our nightly extended update on the forecast. I've been out for a while, so I apologize. Have not been doing these nightly streams personally for a bit, but now we are back in the swing of things and just in time for the official start of fall today. Couldn't you tell? Yeah, didn't exactly feel like fall just yet here in Central Texas, but one of the main things I want to talk about tonight, we do have a cold front, which is coming our way for Wednesday. For our afternoons, they'll get like modestly cooler. I think the big thing, though, the mornings are going to get a lot nicer for the end of the work week and heading into this weekend. We're talking mornings back down to like the 50s and 60s, which will be really nice. Live view outside on this Monday evening and this first fall evening across downtown Austin. Looks beautiful. Again, it was just scorching hot today. We hit 99 officially for Camp Mabry. Hit the same thing today at the airport. It's about 10 degrees above average, but we've had some very hot first days of fall here. The record on this date is 102. That was back in the 1920s. So this is another thing we were talking about on our newscast earlier this evening at 6 o'clock. We had an allergy story, so I just want to get into a little bit of the kind of fall allergy calendar here for maybe anybody who's new, or if you've been here for a while, it's just nice to refresh on what we expect allergy-wise. So fall elm and pine low, so tree pollen's all right today. Ragweed's medium, and this has been elevated the past couple weeks and kind of right on cue. And then mold, very common this time of the year, is also high with alternaria detected. So here's that fall allergy calendar. Ragweed, which is already starting to ramp up. Ragweed season peaks in early to mid-October, so I expect ragweed will continue to be more and more problematic. Then ragweed season continues October and then goes down as we get into like mid and late November. Fall elm, right now we haven't had a big fall elm count yet, but we're getting into the time of the year, these dry, breezy cold fronts. Once our fronts start to get a little bit, stronger, we got to watch these. The peak of fall elm season is normally mid to late October, and then that kind of steeply drops off as we go into November. And then everybody's good friend cedar season. We're still a ways away from that, but as we get December and then, we continue through the winter, cedar season obviously ramps up. So saying hello to fall and winter allergies here. Very exciting. All right, another live view outside. Again, just kind of the headlines for you. Close to triple digits tomorrow. In fact, I actually bumped us up at 5 o'clock. I hadn't seen the official numbers yet, and I had 99 in the forecast. Given we hit 99 today, I went ahead and put 100 in the forecast for tomorrow. Cold front gets here Wednesday. Some rain chance with it, which we'll talk about. I don't think everybody gets rain, but many of us getting some sort of rain. This is the number one headline, though, behind the front. Mornings are going to get way, way nicer. So a big drop in humidity, and this time of the year, as we talked about with our last couple cold fronts, a big drop in humidity means a big drop in our morning temperatures. Still sitting at 95 right now after 7 o'clock on this Monday evening. 96 at the airport. Mainer's at 96. Westlake was up close to 100 earlier. It's still 97 there. Blanco's at 90. Fredericksburg's at 90 right now. The only rain-cooled spot right now is down in Fayette County. So LaGrange, not normally one of our cooler pockets, but slightly rain-cooled down into the 80s. And you can see where we do have this little downpour here, which has crossed out of Fayette County and now is moving into Bastrop County. Earlier had our evening rain chance at like 20%. I think that's too optimistic, but a few more little showers or downpours like this, they'll try to expand a little farther westward. So I think the odds of rain this evening in Austin pretty low, as you see from our model, but between now and sundown, low chance for a hit or miss shower or downpour. Then the overnight's going to be completely dry. We'll be mostly clear into the early overnight, and then late tonight, low clouds start to develop because of the humidity we have. So it's going to be warm and muggy and kind of gray as we start tomorrow morning, mid and upper 70s in the forecast. And then as we zoom in across the I-35 corridor, mid upper 70s for everybody. Then as we go to the afternoon tomorrow, those morning clouds give way to afternoon sunshine. We're going to have a lot of mid and upper 90s, and I suspect some of us will hit 100. You can see I did put 100 in the forecast for Austin tomorrow. As far as rain tomorrow, it's about a 10% chance. And then Wednesday, we'll see if we can get this front to come through and give us a better chance for rain. Now, especially across the hill country, here's Wednesday morning, 9-10 a.m. I do think the front will be accompanied by some showers and some storms. But watch this, and this would kind of go along with the timing and what's kind of typical with these weaker early season fronts. So some rain across the northern hill country. Here's 11. Then as we get closer to midday and 1 o'clock, the front's coming through Austin at that point, and the rain chance kind of falls apart a little bit. Now, this is the last frame of our data, which goes to 1 p.m. on Wednesday. I think that rain chances could we could see a resurgence here over our southeastern areas as that front comes into areas that are a little hotter, more unstable. So again, we're going to have some rain around, but I don't expect this is going to be a situation where everybody gets heavy rain. 100 Tuesday, then Wednesday is going to be cold front day. Exact timing will dictate what exactly the high temperature is. For now, I'm going to say 90 on Wednesday, and that probably happens much earlier in the day than what we would usually see for a high temperature. Then it may actually be a situation, especially if we have a decent bit of rain, where the mid to late afternoon is actually cooler in the 80s and maybe even the 70s for parts of the hill country. Then by Thursday, there will be our one day. It should be mostly sunny and dry, so it's kind of a nice low humidity day, just like warm and comfortable in the upper 80s, and then we'll level off in the low 90s for Friday into this weekend. So here's our big humidity drop. It may take a little while, so I don't know that we're fully comfortable just yet by Thursday morning, but by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we will be. So check out the low temperatures for the next 5 days. So Thursday, I've got us at 72, but if the front comes fully through and the humidity drops, it would already be down in the 60s Thursday. For now, I'll say Thursday is kind of the transition day, and then Friday, Saturday, low temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s. That's in town, so outside of Austin, I fully expect some areas will be down in the 50s. Here's our tropical outlook. So I talked about this a couple weeks ago, how it was quiet, but I expected kind of a switch to flip at some point. And that has happened. So we have Gabrielle, major hurricane, Category 4 all of a sudden, and thank goodness this will kind of peel back east, will go across the Atlantic away from the U.S. and will not be a factor for land. Down here over the MDR, the main development region, we have one. It's pretty disorganized now, but this area has a high chance for development. Then another wave out here, which has a medium chance for development. Obviously, this one will be a little bit more of a close call for the East Coast. Models still don't have a great grasp on this, so I don't think any of these systems have a chance at being an issue for us here in Texas, but I do think the East Coast will need to watch these just to be safe, but it's also possible these could recurve and not be a factor for land at all. So we'll keep you posted on that, but not an impact to our local forecast. Here's my 7-day forecast. So 100 degrees tomorrow. Wednesday, cold front day, 50% chance for rain. High of 90, transition day temperature-wise. Then Thursday, I think most of the rain is cleared out. The front will stall down to our south, so south of here, the rain chance will continue. But for us, I think we're mainly dry Thursday. High of 89, that will be nice. And then afternoons, they'll still be warm, even a little warmer than average for this time of the year. But the mornings are going to be just really, really nice in the low to mid 60s for a stretch of several days, for Friday through the weekend and into the first part of next week as well. And again, that's in Austin. So outside of the city, I do expect some of the cooler pockets will drop down into the 50s. So, is it, sweater weather? Yeah, probably not quite, but it will give us a little taste of fall now that we are officially into the fall season. All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Check that out. Beautiful kind of golden hour glow over downtown Austin. We'll take a little bit of a break. We'll have the full update on the forecast and some updated model data and all that coming up on KVUE News at 10 o'clock, which will probably be a little late because of the NFL game. But whenever the game ends, we'll be on KVUE. We'll keep you updated on the forecast. Y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to y'all later.